Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching my video here and also the series that I've been doing about this right here, the pandemic. But today we have some very good news for you. So the news we have for you today is, okay, the pandemic is easing up now. Things are getting better. Stores are opening up, shops are opening up, the gyms where you can get your exercise, they're opening up and things like that. So things are going back to normal. So if you've been watching my series, I've been talking about, okay, well, how have people been hit financially as far as the pandemic? And sad to say, a lot they suffered. Now the thing is, also including myself, I was not prepared financially. So what I want you to do is watch this video, just right here, is because they're going to describe this company that can help you financially. How to strategize, how to prepare yourself and your family financially so you won't be caught off guard. Now we're part of the Dream Builders group. We're international, so we have groups all over. So contact the person below this video is because maybe you're in California, maybe you're in the Philippines, maybe you're in Europe. Wherever you are, we have members that are waiting to hear from you so we can assist you and show you the way how you can become financially more sound. It's because, as you probably know, especially in the US, the value of the dollar has gone down. So here it is, you have your money in the bank, the pandemic is here, you laid off your job, you go get your money, and your money is not worth as much as it was when you put it into the bank. So now, wouldn't it be nice if you can come up with a strategy to mitigate that? It's because if the value of your dollar is going down, what can you do to protect yourself financially so that it would not hit you as hard? So once again, thank you for watching this video. And contact the person below because they are a Dream Builders member and we're here to help you. So once again, thank you for watching my video. In this series, I'm going to continue to spread the word about the effects of the virus, so stay tuned. So have a blessed day and stay safe until my next video.
As far as his business, and that feels good, it always does. But if all that you ever knew about me was what he said, it could be very, very misleading. Because like most of you guys, 4.5 years ago, I took a look at this company when it first got started back in November 2016. And I was at a critical point in my life. I just needed something to work for me. Do me a favor tonight. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been in a point in your life you just needed something to work for you. All right. And I took a look at the business that we're going to talk about tonight. And I actually got involved the very same night I took a look at it, not because I understood everything, but because what the gentleman said that night just made a whole lot of sense. Put a 2 in the chat if it makes sense to buy gold and silver at the best price. Put a 2 in the chat if that conversation resonates with you. And if it also makes sense that if someone's going to get paid every time gold and silver is purchased, that somebody probably needs to be named you. Put a 2 in the chat if that resonates with you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I really grasped 4.5 years ago. I went on to introduce now well over 100 plus people to this concept and have a team now that's tens of thousands of people across the nation and now in 5 different countries. Now, I don't share that tonight to impress you, but to impress upon you. If someone like myself that doesn't have a college degree can do this business and earn several $1,000s every week, every last one of you guys here tonight will have the exact same opportunity. So is it okay tonight if I just share with you guys the same concept that was shared with me 4.5 years ago? And if you like what you see, like many of us love what we saw, we're going to welcome you to our family in advance. And if it's okay tonight, I'm going to show you how we can make money together. All right. So let's just dive into it. For the next 25 minutes or so, we're going to share with you guys what we call a wealth strategy. How do I put something in place that allows me to have that American dream, time and money together? So let's just think about it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Do me a favor tonight. Put a 1 in the chat if it looks like you're working way harder today for your money than you've ever done, just to cover the basics. Well, I guess it's a little comforting to knowing it's not just you, but higher costs and financial pressures, they're reaping havoc on many, many families today. And people can't even keep up with this elusive word called inflation. And that was a study done in May of 2017 that said 44% of Americans couldn't take a $400 hiccup in their life. That means a tire blows out, something happens to a washer or dryer. And in lieu of the fact that over 50 million people last year alone filed for unemployment in this country, I'd venture to say that number is now probably closer to 70%. So the question is tonight, and we're going to give it an answer to it, what's happening with your money? And why should you and I even care? Well, here's what we know to be true. This chart shows you the purchasing power of the dollar over the last 100 years. And put a 1 in the chat if it looks like the purchasing power of your dollar is going the wrong way. But as you can see, there are several things that happen to cause the dollar not to buy what it used to do. And I know it sounds like a fairy tale, but once upon a time, a dollar bill could actually buy you $1 worth of goods. But there's several things that happened. But the thing I want you to focus on tonight took place in 1971, August the 15th to be exact, when then President Nixon took the entire world off of the gold standard. You see, up until that time, they could only physically print what they could back up with the Fort Knoxes of the world. Now you hear $5 words on television like quantitative easing. All that means our government now has a license to print the funny stuff out of the thin air. And it's just like a glass of tea. I don't care how good it tastes. The more water you pour into it, the more diluted it becomes and the less value it has. And because the dollar is no longer backed by gold, the more of these they print, the less purchasing power the dollar has. I hate to break it to you tonight. What a dollar used to buy is not even worth the price of a bubble gum. So what's the answer? Why should you and I should be concerned? Here's why we need to be concerned. It's not that things are costing more. It's the value of your dollar is going down. That's why it's costing. Over the last 16 years, it's costing people 51% more to rent an apartment. For retired people, last I checked, when people retire, the money don't go up, it goes down. It's costing people more, 61% more to take care of their home. For these young families over the last 16 years, they're paying 78% more to pay for their starter home than what it costs you and I. And think about it. These are everyday necessities. Let me bring it to your front door. Because the dollar is no longer worth anything, that's why it's costing you 99% more to heat your home. 43% more to eat at home, ladies and gentlemen. Nearly 60% more if you're eating out. I had one of my daughters graduate from high school last year. I'm looking at 1.5 times to pay for her college than what it cost me. So the question is tonight, and we're going to give it an answer to it, is what's happening with your money? And why should you and I even care? Well, here's the reason why. We're going to make a case tonight for what is called sound money. And don't be alarmed. That's a fancy way of saying physical gold and silver. And just so we don't get it twisted tonight, we're not talking stocks. We're not talking bonds. We're not talking ETFs. We're talking this stuff. This is a 100-ounce silver bar worth about $3,000. This is a 1-ounce gold piece worth about $2,000. Tonight, we're going to begin the education for many of you guys. Why is it that the Robert Kiyosaki's of the world, the Warren Buffetts of the world, why do they have physical gold and silver in their portfolio? Why is it that the largest governments of the world and the largest financial institutions of the world, why do they buy the most and yet stay the least? What do they know that you and I should know? Well, here's what they know, ladies and gentlemen. Back in 1965, when the dollar was still backed by something, a $1 bill and a 1-ounce silver coin bought the exact same thing. And back then, all it took was $1, you could buy a whole gallon of milk. But fast forward to the day, you and I both know with a $1 bill, you're going to be lucky if you get a carton of milk. But because this has appreciated and the dollar has depreciated, a 1-ounce silver coin would buy you 5 gallons today. What about entertainment? Back then, either one of these, you could go in and watch the whole movie. Now, you and I both know. I'm going to be standing outside hoping somebody help me out with just $1 talking about watching anything. But because this is now worth $30, the 1-ounce silver coin, I can literally watch 2 brand new movies. What about one of my favorite examples of buying a brand new car? See, back in 1965, when your dollar was still backed by something, all you had to do was accumulate 2,500 $1 bills or 2,500 1-ounce silver coins. You could walk into a Ford dealership and walk out with a brand new Ford Mustang. Do me a favor tonight, put a 2 in the chat If you think buying a brand new car for just $2,500 is a beautiful thing, now fast forward to today. You and I both know 2,500 of these, you're not going to walk out of that with a whole bunch of nothing. You're lucky if they accept that with a down payment. But because the 1 ounce silver coin has went up to now $30 a coin, you can literally purchase the price of 2 brand new Ford Mustangs. What about the other sound money of gold? But back in 1965, if you accumulated $10,000, you could buy a brand new house back then. And even with depreciation, you'd have about $86,000 worth of equity. But what if you knew back then what you knew today, and you put that $10,000 into gold one time, not every year, not every 5 years, one time? That $10,000 would be worth over $500,000 today. Think about it. $10,000 in, don't touch it, $500,000 today. Put a 2 in the chat if you wish your 401k looked like that. So if I understand that to be true, the question then remains, why haven't my financial advisor offered to take me to lunch and talk about buying physical gold and silver? Why haven't my financial planner said, listen, let me buy you a cup of coffee, let's buy some gold and silver? Here's the truth of the matter. It's not that they're bad people, ladies and gentlemen. I have many friends in that arena. They're trained not to have the conversation because, number one, they don't earn a commission on it. And number two, the people that train them, they hope you and I never know. They hope you and I never wake up and smell the coffee. But if you're on this Zoom tonight, somebody loved you enough, somebody respected you enough to give you a phone call to maybe to begin your education on why everybody should have physical gold and silver. And the bottom line is this, ladies and gentlemen. We partnered up with an incredible company that really believes that you deserve it, that everybody in your family should start acquiring physical gold and silver. Let's have a grown man, a grown woman conversation now. The average person, when you mention gold and silver, they check out. In their mind, it is just a rich man's game and a game of kings. But no longer, because of the company we're going to introduce you to tonight, these gentlemen have cracked the code. They've made owning gold and silver affordable to you and I. Well, who are we? The name of the company we're going to introduce you to tonight, the one that Kawan has partnered with, is called 7K Metals. Founded back in 2016 by gentlemen that's already created billion-dollar companies and gentlemen that have created multi-million-dollar companies. And the 4 gentlemen have combined over 100 years experience in the networking space. The reason why they garner so much respect because they've all been on both sides of the table. From the corporate side, they've already started and grown companies to the tune of billions of dollars in annual revenue. And from the field, they have each built multi-million-dollar businesses for multiple companies. Now, these 4 gentlemen got together to solve 2 major issues in the networking space. Problem number 1, how can we provide a product that everyone would want or need at a great price? And problem number 2, how can we realistically create a compensation plan where not just a select few, but the massive amount of people can actually have success? And so when they created a company, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the messages, and it just shows you the heart of these gentlemen. I mean, now think about it. They've been wildly successful for many, many years. But they said for far too long, they watched the people around them suffer with the economy fluctuating, just trying to make ends meet. And they believe in creating a company where a product what everybody would want or need at a great price so that everyday people can start creating a lifestyle powered by gold and silver. And at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, they believe in you and they believe that you and I deserve it. Now think about it. Now I've been blessed to be buying gold and silver since 2008. And I have yet to run into anybody that didn't believe owning it was a good thing. But there's a reason why only about 5% of the population actually owns gold and silver. And so the company, these owners, they were just as puzzled as you and I. So when they did the research, when they first started in 2016, here's what they found to be true. Number 1, people don't understand, why should I buy it? They understand a little bit about stocks and bonds. Why should I be buying this stuff here and having it show up in my mailbox? Can I trust the people I'm getting it from? Can I get it in small quantities? And more importantly, how can I accumulate even more of it? Well, to answer those questions, ladies and gentlemen, they created a business model that we're all familiar with. See, I'm oftentimes asked, What do you do? Do you sell the gold? Do you sell the silver? What exactly is your business model? All we're going to do for you tonight is we're going to sell you a membership, like a Sam's Club or a Costco. And with membership comes privileges. I want you to imagine tonight for just a few $100s a year to have your own gold and silver business. You can have a wholesale and retail, and you can shop till you drop with no minimum or maximum purchases. Put a 1 in the chat if you resonate with that conversation. So to understand how to be able to create a Sam's Club model for gold and silver, you need to understand how the process normally works. You see, when gold and silver is mined from the earth, once it's delivered to the mint and they turn it into coinage, the mint sells it at the lowest price. There are 12 authorized purchasers who are licensed by Congress to buy millions of dollars worth of metals every single month from the largest mints of the world. Gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. No one gets it at a lower price than the 12. So if you and I hope to get it at the best price, we buy from the 12. The challenge with that, to play that game, it starts at buying $10,000 every month. That wipes out most of the competition. The 12 only sell to the largest wholesalers who sell to brokers, who sell to retailers. They typically sell to you and I. And every single time is marked up. Here's 7K Metals' business power. Because they have the buying power now of tens of thousands of members, they partnered up with 5 of those 12. And on the wholesale product, they pass on the savings to the members without marking it up 1 penny. You heard me correctly. When it comes to this stuff, this is a 1 ounce silver coin, exactly how it comes from the mint. This is a 1 ounce, this is a 100 ounce silver bar. You're going to pay the same rate the company pays. Put a 1 in the chat if that's a beautiful thing. And because there's no minimums and maximums, that means if I can only afford to buy $50 this month, if I can only afford to buy $100 this month, I can get $50 with the silver, $100 with the gold at the best price. And now for that reason, we have tens of thousands of people that now own sound money, physical gold and silver. The majority of them had never purchased it before. Now, because they understood, most people don't understand the conversation, relax. You don't have to be an expert to make the right buying decision. Because the moment you sign up, you get access to a buyer certification. There's a series of short videos that educate you on what the most successful people buy. You're going to find out why is it that Robert Kiyosaki and Warren Buffett, why do they have physical gold and silver in their portfolio? Why is it that you want to buy the wholesale product and our retail product of the collectible coins? Why is it that the largest governments of the world and the Chase Manhattans of the world, why do they buy the most and yet say the least? What do they know that you and I should know? Well, these are the 5 reasons. They simplify the process on why the most successful people on the planet buy physical gold and silver. Number 1, to hedge against inflation, more poor government decisions, and possible economic collapse. Do me a favor tonight, put a 1 in the chat. I don't care who you voted for in November. You believe we still got problems with the government, so everybody need to have some gold and silver. Number 2, accumulate your wealth. Wealth protection means if I have stocks, bonds, crypto, I need to protect it. Because gold and silver has a 10,000-year track record. It ain't going nowhere. Diversify my portfolio and the coin collecting. So they created a model. So if you wanted to do one of those 5, if you want to do all 5 of them, once you're a member, this becomes a one-stop shop. And the reason why we encourage you to do the coin collecting part is because we don't want you to ever again make a $1.2 million mistake. And do me a favor tonight, put a 2 in the chat if you're like me. I still get mad at a $10 mistake. If I go to that grocery store tonight and I look at that receipt when I get out in the parking lot and them last 2 cans are not in there, guess who's going to make another trip back in there? $10 is still $10. Well, when it comes to our collectible coin of the silver, gold and silver coins, ladies and gentlemen, we've all made a $1.2 million mistake. And let me give you a quick lesson now. These are the same 2 items. This is a silver eagle. That's a collectible or numismatic coin. And this is the same coin, how it comes directly from the mint. Why do we pay $105 for this one and only $30 from this one? Give an example in cars, something we can all relate to. Let's just say I had 2 1965 vintage Ford Mustangs. One had 300,000 miles, little rust on it, seats kind of busted up, but it still runs. People would still pay a lot of money for it because it's a classic. But what if I had that same car in perfect mint condition and it only had 20,000 miles on it? You would pay a whole lot more for the second one. Well, think about it. The collectible of the numismatic coin would be that same car in perfect mint condition. Now, here's the thing. This is a retail product. So that means you'll find it a little cheaper. You'll find it a little bit more expensive. We pay $105 for it. What if you started back in 1986 when the Silver Eagle first came out and bought one a month for your kids, grandkids, whatever the case may be? I buy quite a few of those a month. If you'd have bought one a month from 1986 to now, you would have had about $50,000 out of your pocket in that collection. That same collection is now worth over $1.2 million. Think about it. 50,000 in, 30 years later, 1.2 million. Why is that? Well, the 2012, I bought one of those. I paid 100, it's now worth 150. The 1996 missed that one. I would have only paid 100, it's now worth 6,000. The 1999, God knows I wish I'd have got that one. I would have only paid 100. It's now worth over $20,000. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't have a crystal ball, but if history just repeats itself, how many if you're buying these coins like many of our members do every month, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, it's going to be a beautiful thing. And because we know most people have a challenge with savings, the company has an automatic savings. It's like a forced savings plan where you can get a collectible every month that by definition is an asset, and you can just set it aside. And these are the examples. For $105, you'll get that Silver Eagle that we just showed you. And we're doing a state series that makes it even rarer. For $139, the company created its own 1-ounce silver coin, specially made by Mint, only a couple thousand of them. It's a state series, but it does either an animal or an insect. And it's only a couple thousand of them made every month. Ladies and gentlemen, these coins will be something worth it. You definitely want to get one of those. And for those of you that just love the gold coins for a little over $300, you can either get a 10th ounce gold coin or an extremely rare 1-ounce silver coin. There's no way you can lose. You can buy several of them. You can buy all of them. Ladies and gentlemen, you can shop till you drop. There's no way you lose in this. You're getting a product that will always have value, and it's something you can't say about a lot of the product-driven companies out there. And on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, they just introduced us about 6 months ago to a game changer on what is called a sound money wallet. Now think about it. If you've been in the networking before, you're familiar with an electronic wallet. But I want you to imagine a Venmo system that allows you to send cash, silver, and gold member to member. Imagine a Cash App or a Zelle that now I can send silver and gold to the people I love. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Once you're in this system, now with the click of a button, you're turning your cash into gold or your gold back to cash. With the click of a button, you're turning cash to silver or silver back to cash. And with the simple click of a button, I now can go member to member for free, gold, silver, as well as cash. See, to understand the magnitude of this system, Bill Gates put it best. He said one of the fastest ways to create wealth is to find out what the world wants to do and simply get there first. See, this system is not one of a dozen. It's not one of a 5. It's the only one of its kind on the planet, and you get a chance to be able to liquidate your silver and gold with a simple click of a button. I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless. There are many companies that are clamoring to get access to the system, but you can only do it by being a member. In addition to that, the icing on the cake, you're buying those collectible coins every month, they're going to give you this rewards program where you got 800,000 ways to save. Hotels, rental cars, dream vacation packages. Not only that, ladies and gentlemen, retail establishment, restaurants, I'm saving right now $200 to $300 a month, taking my kids to where they always was going to Burger King and stuff all the time anyway. So now I get a chance to save money on it. I'm telling you, the possibilities are endless. And that getaway allows us, many of our members, to travel all across the globe and take advantage of the savings. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, these people know how to work hard and play hard. Next month, a few hundred of us qualified to go to Cancun in an all-inclusive 5-star resort, I'm telling you, this is the place to be. Now let's talk about the other part of our business, what many people really love. I'm going to turn to some of you guys' favorite radio station, WIIFM, what's in it for me. Now let's talk about how do we get paid. Now keep in mind, we have a dual team system. That means everybody has to build 2 teams. And they don't pay you a commission for signing people up. They give you points that will turn into dollars. Here's how it works. Once you bring on your first 2 people, place one on team 1, one on team 2, you now start accumulating points. And any combination of 500 points on one team and 500 on the other, this company will pay you a $500 commission. So for those of you that are used to getting a $50 cycle check, $75 cycle checks, when we get our cycle check, it's $500, ladies and gentlemen. That's a real check. So how do I get those points? Here's how it works. When I sign up a membership, and when that membership renews the next year, I get 50 to 150 points. Every single time, either you or someone on your team buys those cool collectible coins, the coins of the month, they will come with 15 or 30 points. And every single month, no matter what position you come in with, they're going to give you access to very rare coin sales. We call them coin drops. That means only 10,000 of them in the world exist. You get a chance to get one. Only 500 of them in the world. You get a chance to add one to your portfolio. They all come with points. And with each one of the packages, you get an e-commerce site where you can send out your link, your individual link, to everybody that you know. They can buy everything you buy with a slight retail markup. When they check out, not only will the company split a right now commission with you, but if they buy anything on your site that has points, those points will go to future dollars. So what is my income potential? I'm glad you asked. When you sign up just your first 2 people, you're what is called a qualified associate. As an associate, you can earn up to $500 on a weekly basis. There have been thousands of people now going on our 5th year that have reached that rank, and I have quite a few on my team that do that every 7 days. If you sign up for doing more than that, duplicate your success, you're promoted to a copper. As a copper, you can earn up to $1,000 on a weekly basis. And for those of you that think, hey, I've signed up to do more than that, I want to walk away from what I'm doing, duplicate your success. Help a person on your left and on your right to do what you just did. Now you're promoted to a bronze. As a bronze, you can earn up to $2,000 on a weekly basis. And for those of you who believe you are that cream that has to rise to the top, continue to climb this ladder, you want to focus on what is called a silver. As a silver, you now unlock the ability to earn up to $3,500 on a weekly basis. Many of our silvers, ladies and gentlemen, 90% of them, I would say, no longer punch a clock. And the company thinks so much of this position. They said if you get it done in 90 days or less, they're going to reward you with a 100-ounce silver bar similar to the one I have in my hand. I'm telling you the possibilities of interest. But if you believe in the adage that if you didn't come from a wealthy family, then it's your responsibility and it's my responsibility to make sure that a wealthy family comes from me, then you want to focus on these next 3 positions of gold, executive, and presidential gold. At these levels, you're earning up to $7,000, $10,000, up to $12,500 on a weekly basis. And for those of you tonight who think you got invited too late to the party, relax. Although we've just started our 5th year of operation, we've only had this enhanced part of the compensation plan for less than a year and a half. There's only 18 individuals that have reached the rank of gold, 4 executive goals, so there's plenty of room at the top. And testimony, I wanted to bring over those 2 gentlemen, especially because they've both been on board less than a year's time, and they've already created, an environment where they're on pace to do a 6-figure, but they helped a lot of other people do the very same thing. And so that being said, ladies and gentlemen, just to sum up all the benefits you get from being a part of this amazing company, not only are you in position to earn a commission as well as a passive residual income. Every single month, you get a coin that by definition is an asset. You get the advantage. You get access to very rare coins. You got the sound money wallet. You got the write-off because it's a home-based business. I mean, for those of you, your 401k is dropped down to a 40K, there's a way that we can back that with gold. They have a healthcare program. So those who want to go full-time and don't have to worry about your healthcare, ladies and gentlemen, you can get a very affordable healthcare through Aetna by being a part of this company. You get a chance, and probably the biggest advantage, to buy gold and silver at the best price based upon what you can afford. So the question is now, are you ready to change your life? Here's the bottom line. There's two ways to get started. Our standard is only $199 a year, and our premium is only $499 a year. Here's what you're going to receive. With both of those packages, you get a chance to buy gold and silver at the best price. You get access to the buyer certification, collector's training. But with the standard, ladies and gentlemen, for the first 3 months, it's going to be free. You'll get what we call technology credits. That means you get access to an amazing website with 14 different reports. You get an e-commerce site where you can send it out to people that want to test the waters, feel the bricks, and you'll get the recruiting app that has 20-something resources that most of that can be tracked. You'll get your first collectible coin, and you get access to the sound money wallet. But if you want the most bang for the buck, and you plan on building a business, premium is the only way to go, because it's only $499 a year. But with that one, you're going to get an extremely rare silver coin, similar to this Black Panther coin I have here. I paid $135 for this coin. It's now worth over $1,000 because of the death of the actor. Also, you'll get your first 1-ounce bullion coin, the silver coin. So you get a wholesale and a retail product. That technology credit, that's free for you the whole year. That's $120 value. You get your first set of business cards, wealth strategy booklets, and the sound money wallet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're in a position to do so, that's where you want to get started. And so just to wrap everything up, ask yourself the question, how would it feel to know you really had control of your financial future? I know for a fact an extra $500 to $1,000 would have stopped most bankruptcies last year alone. And to be in a position where you have time and money together to spend it with the people that you love. So do us a favor tonight. Go ahead and grab yourself a membership. Join us on this journey to go out there and change the world. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, the ball is in your court. And all you have to do now is just make a decision. And I think Dr. Benjamin Mays said it best. He said, I only have a minute. And that's only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. I didn't seek it, nor did I choose it. But you know what? It's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I abuse it, give an account if I lose it. It's a tiny little minute, but an eternity is in it. Just make a decision. It's okay. Here's what I know to be true. No decision has always been a decision. Every time I share this information, there's always two types of individuals dialing into a Zoom like this. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You're on here tonight. Person number one, say, you know what? I like what I hear. Really not into that networking stuff, but I have been looking for a place to buy gold and silver. And if I'm going to get it, might as well get it at the best price. I say, great. Make sure you get back with the person and invite you to the Zoom. Let's show you how simple it is to sign up. And you, my friend, can start purchasing gold and silver on your own free website starting tonight. Person number two, you like I was. When I found out not only could I buy the precious metals at member direct pricing, I could earn income and help others do the same. Well, this quickly became a no-brainer to me. You see, being a student of the industry, here's what I knew to be true. There are thousands of companies out there in the network marketing space. And you know what? They all make money, but they don't all necessarily make sense. And here's what I mean by that. You see, it never made sense to me to pay 3 to 5 times the price for a product or a service that I could literally go to Walmart, get the exact same thing for a fraction of the cost. That just never made sense to me. But it always made sense owning a tangible asset. You're talking this stuff here, gold and silver, showing up in your mailbox every month at member direct pricing, something that will always have value, and earning commissions on top of that. That always made sense to me. So do me a favor tonight, put a 2 in the chat if the information you've heard so far just make sense. Well, to wrap it up tonight, ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want to say with you. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever been like myself, or if you're that person, or maybe you know somebody that became successful in life because they were at the right place at the right time, and then they seized the opportunity. Put a 1 in the chat if you're that person, or maybe you know somebody that was like that. They were at the right place at the right time, and they seized the opportunity. Well, here's the ironic thing about that. Most of the time when you're there, you don't know it. And let me share that with you. See, about 40 years ago, There were two nerdy guys that dropped out of Harvard because they answered an ad that would pay an insane amount of money if they just found a way to make two computers talk. Now, folks laughed at them when they went out there in New Mexico Valley to start working on that social experiment. But how many know nobody's laughing at Mr. Bill Gates and Paul Allen today? I'm 56 years old. I was around back then. But you know what? I didn't get that phone call. Well, what about 18 years ago? I'm pretty sure every last one of us was around back then. There was another nerdy guy that invited 5 people to his dorm room to talk about a social media experiment. And guess what? Only 2 of those 5 showed up. Put a 2 in the chat if you ever invited somebody to something that could change their life and not everybody showed up. Nobody took it serious. Well, the 2 people that showed up in that dorm room, one is worth 16.3 billion, the other's worth 10.6 billion. Guess what? Every last one of us was around back then. But I'm pretty sure none of us got that phone call. Well, if you're on here tonight, somebody loved you enough. Somebody respected you enough to give you that phone call. And mark my words, ladies and gentlemen. Now, that was been over 100 people on this Zoom tonight. For those of you that know my man, you know he's a real guy. And you know that he believes in going to the top. Now, before he introduces to the several thousand people that he knows, you guys get a chance to be the first ones to come on board. Mark my words. When you look at all the amenities that are already on the table, the fact that our product is not as good as gold, but it's literally silver and gold, and now people can get paid up to $12,500 on a weekly basis. 7K medals, we're the best kept secret out there, ladies and gentlemen. But a year from now, 2 years from now, this company is going to be a household name. So make sure you get back with the person that invited you to the Zoom. And always remember, life is not about waiting for the rain to stop. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. God bless.